Let me tell you something. Life is not waiting on you. Time is not waiting on you. Opportunity, it's not waiting on you either. You think tomorrow is promised? You think success is just going to walk up, knock on your door and say, "Here I am"? No, that's not how this works. Too many people sit around waiting for the perfect time. They wait for the right moment, the right opportunity, the right feeling. They say, "I'll start when I'm ready." They convince themselves that someday things will line up and everything will make sense. But let me tell you something. There is no perfect time. There is no right moment. The only time you have is now. Success doesn't wait for you. Dreams don't wait for you. Life is moving forward whether you're ready or not. Every second you spend waiting is a second you'll never get back. How many times have you told yourself, "I'll start tomorrow"? How many dreams have you put on hold because you were scared? Because you doubted yourself? Because you thought you weren't ready? Let me ask you this. What if tomorrow never comes? What if the opportunity you're waiting for never shows up? What if the only thing standing between you and the life you want is your own hesitation? The truth is, the people who succeed in this world are not the ones who wait. They are the ones who take action, even when they're uncertain, even when they're afraid, even when they don't have all the answers. Because action creates momentum, and momentum creates results. You can plan all you want, you can think about it, strategize, map it out, but none of that matters if you never take the first step, because the first step is always the hardest. It's the step that separates the dreamers from the doers. Some people say, "I'll start when I feel motivated." But let me tell you something. Motivation is unreliable. Motivation comes and goes. If you wait to feel motivated, you'll be waiting forever. The most successful people in the world don't rely on motivation, they rely on discipline. They show up when they don't feel like it. They put in the work when they're tired, when they're uninspired, when they'd rather do anything else. That's what separates those who achieve from those who simply wish. And let's talk about fear, because that's what's really holding most people back. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of stepping outside of their comfort zone. But here's the thing, fear will never go away. It will always be there, whispering in your ear, telling you to wait, to play it safe, to stay where it's comfortable. But nothing great comes from comfort. Growth happens when you step into the unknown, when you push yourself past what you thought was possible. Think about all the people you admire, the athletes, the entrepreneurs, the artists, the leaders. Do you think they were fearless? No. They felt the fear and took action anyway. They failed, they stumbled, they made mistakes, but they didn't let that stop them. They kept moving forward. And that's exactly what you need to do. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to start. Because the sooner you start, the sooner you'll learn, the sooner you'll grow, the sooner you'll get closer to where you want to be. Imagine where you could be a year from now if you stopped waiting and took action today. Imagine the progress you could make, the person you could become. Now imagine where you'll be if you keep waiting. The same place you are right now, still stuck, still making excuses, still wondering what could have been. Life is too short for that. Time is too precious. You don't have forever. Every moment you waste is a moment you can never get back. So stop waiting, stop overthinking, stop doubting yourself, take the first step, start now, because your future self is depending on it. Life is not supposed to be easy. If you're looking for an easy path, you're looking in the wrong place. Everything worth having comes with a struggle. Every great story, every successful person, because struggle is not your enemy, it's your greatest teacher. It's the fire that forges you. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to grow, to learn, to become stronger than you were before. But most people don't see it that way. Most people run at the first sign of difficulty. They quit when things get tough. They back down when life pushes them. And that's exactly why they stay stuck. That's exactly why they never reach their full potential. You can't expect to grow without resistance. Think about the strongest people you know, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally. They didn't get that way by living an easy life. They got that way because they faced hardships. They endured pain. They kept going when everything in them wanted to stop. Strength is not given. Strength is earned in the moments when you decide to keep moving forward, even when every part of you is screaming to quit. Most people want success, but they don't want the struggle that comes with it. They want the rewards without the effort. They want the results without the work. But that's not how life works. You don't become great by avoiding pain. You become great by going through it. The truth is, your struggles are preparing you for something greater. Every setback, every failure, every disappointment, it's shaping you. It's teaching you resilience. It's showing you what you're made of. And let me tell you, you are stronger than you think. But you will never know how strong you are if you keep running from difficulty, if you keep looking for shortcuts, if you keep avoiding the hard things. You have to be willing to endure. You have to be willing to push through, because on the other side of struggle is strength. On the other side of pain is power. Think about the hardest thing you've ever been through. The moment you thought would break you. The moment you didn't think you would survive. And yet, here you are, still standing, still fighting. That means you are capable of more than you realize. That means you have already proven to yourself that you can overcome. But the next time struggle comes knocking, will you remember that? Or will you let it break you again? Will you let it make you feel small? Or will you rise up and face it head on? You see, life will never stop testing you. There will always be something, some challenge, some obstacle, some hardship. But instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Start asking, what is this teaching me? Because every challenge carries a lesson. Every setback carries a message. And if you're willing to learn from it, if you're willing to grow from it, nothing can stop you. The greatest successes come from those who refuse to quit. The people who built empires, who changed the world, who defied the odds, they struggled. They suffered, but they didn't let that define them. They let it fuel them. So the next time you feel like giving up, the next time life knocks you down, remember this. You are being shaped. You are being tested, and you have a choice. You can let the struggle break you, or you can let it build you. The pain you feel today will be the strength you rely on tomorrow. The struggle you endure now will be the foundation of your success. Don't run from it. Don't fear it. Embrace it. Because strength comes from struggle, and greatness is born in the fire. Motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes like the wind, unreliable and unpredictable. One day you feel unstoppable, ready to take on the world. The next day you can barely get out of bed. If you rely on motivation to push you forward, you will always struggle to stay consistent. That's why the most successful people in the world don't depend on motivation, they depend on discipline. Discipline is doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. It's showing up when you're tired, when you're uninspired, when you'd rather be anywhere else. It's about commitment, consistency, and effort, no matter the circumstances. If you can master discipline, you can master anything in life. The problem with motivation is that it's emotional. It's based on how you feel, and feelings are unreliable. There will be days when you wake up energized, ready to take action, and there will be days when everything feels like a struggle. But if your success depends on how motivated you feel, you will fail more often than you succeed. Because real progress happens on the days you don't want to do it, but you do it anyway. Think about the people who achieve greatness. Athletes, entrepreneurs, artists, leaders. Do you think they're motivated every day? Do you think they wake up excited every morning, ready to push themselves? No. They achieve an ink. They win the battles every day. They don't motivate every morning like they work. The best they do, they show up anyway. They wake them up and they discipline them. But they don't discipline. They're awake. They wake up. They wake up. They rely on discipline. Discipline is what makes you go to the gym when you don't feel like it. It's what makes you study when you'd rather watch TV. It's what keeps you working when you're exhausted, when no one is watching, when there's no immediate reward. It's not about doing things when it's easy. It's about doing them when it's hard. Most people want quick results. They want success without the struggle. They start something new, excited and motivated, but the moment it gets difficult, they stop. They tell themselves they'll try again later, when they feel ready, when they feel inspired. Discipline means showing up every single day, even when you don't see results yet. Even when progress is slow. Even when no one else believes in you. Because success is not built in a day. It's built in the small, consistent actions that add up over time. It's easy to do something when you feel like it. Anyone can work hard when they're motivated. But the real test is what you do when you don't feel like it. That's where champions are made. That's where growth happens. Think about it like this. Motivation is the spark that gets you started. But discipline is the fire that keeps you going. Motivation is great for starting something, but discipline is what finishes it. That's where most people fail. They wait for the perfect moment, the perfect mood, the perfect feeling. But the truth is, if you only work when you feel like it, you will never achieve anything great. The world does not reward people who wait. It rewards those who show up day in and day out, regardless of how they feel. So ask yourself, are you waiting for motivation, or are you building discipline? Are you only taking action when it's easy, or are you willing to push through when it's hard? Because success doesn't care how you feel. It only cares about what you do. Discipline is the key to everything you want in life. It's the bridge between goals and achievements, between dreams and reality, and the best part, it's something you can build. It's a muscle you can train. Every time you push yourself to do something when you don't feel like it, you are strengthening that muscle. You are proving to yourself that you are capable, that you are stronger than your excuses. And one day you'll look back and realize that discipline didn't just help you reach your goals, it changed who you are. It made you tougher, stronger, more resilient. It made you the kind of person who doesn't wait for motivation, but takes action no matter what. So stop waiting, stop relying on feelings, start building discipline, because that's what separates the successful from the unsuccessful. That's what turns dreams into reality. That's what changes lives. People love to talk about talent. They love to point at someone successful and say they were born for this. They assume greatness is something you either have or you don't. That some people are just lucky, gifted, chosen. But let me tell you something. Talent might give you a head start, but hard work is what takes you across the finish line. Luck might open a door, but hard work is what keeps you in the room. Too many people use the excuse of talent. They say, I'm not naturally gifted. They convince themselves that success is only for the lucky, for those born with something special. But the truth is, the most successful people in this world were not always the most talented. They were the hardest workers. Hard work beats talent when talent refuses to work. You can have all the potential in the world, but if you're not willing to put in the effort, someone with less talent and more determination will pass you. Talent is a tool, but without effort, it's useless. You can have the best tools in the world, but if you don't pick them up and use them, they mean nothing. Hard work is what sharpens talent. It's what turns potential into results. It's what separates the good from the great. Now, let's talk about luck. People love to say they just got lucky. But luck means nothing without hard work. You could win the lottery tomorrow, but if you don't know how to manage your money, luck might put you in the right place, but hard work is what allows you to take advantage of it. Look at the greatest athletes, the most successful entrepreneurs, the best in any field. They didn't just wake up one day at the top. They spent years grinding, training, failing, and getting back up. They weren't just handed success, they earned it. Think about Michael Jordan, one of the greatest basketball players of all time. He didn't even make his high school varsity team at first, but instead of accepting failure, he worked harder than anyone else. He practiced longer, pushed himself further, and refused to let talent alone decide his future. That's why he became a legend. Or take someone like Elon Musk. He wasn't born knowing how to build rockets or revolutionize the car industry. He worked for it. He studied, he took risks, he failed, and he kept going. It wasn't luck. It wasn't just talent. It was relentless effort. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't some magical ability. It's the willingness to put in the work, to wake up early, to stay late, to sacrifice comfort for greatness. It's about doing what others won't so you can have what others never will. Hard work is not easy. It's exhausting. It's frustrating. It will test you in ways you never imagined. But every time you push through, every time you choose effort over excuses, you are building something greater than talent alone could ever provide. You are building character, resilience, and discipline. So the question is, are you willing to outwork everyone else? Are you willing to put in the hours even when you don't see immediate results? Are you willing to bet on yourself, knowing that talent might give someone an advantage, but your effort will always give you the final say? You don't need luck. You don't need to be the most talented. You just need to be the hardest worker in the room. Because at the end of the day, talent fades, luck runs out, but hard work always wins. There will be days when you want to quit, days when the effort feels pointless, when the struggle feels too heavy, when everything in you is screaming to stop. Those are the moments when most people give up. Those are the moments when dreams die. But the people who make it, the ones who rise above, the ones who succeed, are the ones who remember their why. Your why is your reason. It's the fuel behind everything you do. It's the deeper purpose that keeps you going when things get tough. Without it, you will break under pressure. Without it, you will give in to distractions, to fear, to doubt. But when you have a strong enough why, nothing can stop you. Think about why you started. Think about the vision you had when you first set this goal. What was it that made you believe in it? What was it that made you take that first step? That reason is more important than anything else, because when motivation fades, when exhaustion sets in, when obstacles appear, that reason is what will keep you moving forward. Too many people start with excitement, but they don't last because they forget why they started. They let challenges wear them down. They let setbacks discourage them. They let temporary emotions decide their future. But your why has to be stronger than your excuses. It has to be bigger than your fears. It has to be powerful enough to remind you why quitting is not an option. Maybe your why is your family. Maybe it's proving to yourself that you're capable of more. Maybe it's breaking a cycle, creating a better life, making a difference. Whatever it is, it has to mean something deep to you. Because if your why isn't strong enough, you will walk away when things get hard. Think about the people who depend on you. Think about the sacrifices you've already made. Think about the version of yourself that you're trying to become. When you feel like giving up, remind yourself of those things. Remind yourself that you didn't come this far just to stop now. Remind yourself that every great success story is filled with struggle, but those who make it are the ones who refuse to quit. Success isn't just about talent or luck. It's about persistence. It's about the ability to keep going when nothing is working, when no one believes in you, when every part of you is tired. That's when remembering your why makes the difference. That's when it separates those who achieve from those who give up. Your why is your anchor. It's what keeps you grounded when life tries to shake you. When doubt creeps in, go back to it. When fear tries to hold you back, go back to it. When failure makes you question yourself, go back to it. Because if your why is strong enough, nothing can break you. Every great person you admire had moments of doubt, moments where they questioned if it was worth it, moments where they almost walked away, but they kept going because their why was stronger than their struggles. And because they kept going, they created something great. You have that same power inside you. You just have to remind yourself of it. Every single day, write it down, speak it out loud, keep it in front of you. Because when life gets tough, when the road gets rough, when your strength is tested, your why is what will carry you through. So don't quit. Don't lose sight of what you're working for. Don't let temporary struggles make you forget why you started. Because the moment you decide to push forward, the moment you refuse to let go of your why, that's the moment everything changes. Your life is your responsibility. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to hand you success, happiness, or fulfillment. If you want something, you have to take control and go after it. Too many people go through life waiting for the perfect moment, waiting for someone to believe in them, waiting for luck to turn in their favor. But waiting gets you nowhere. The only way to create the life you want is to take full control of it. Taking control means owning your choices, your actions, and your mindset. It means refusing to be a victim of circumstance. Life will throw challenges at you, but how you respond is always within your control. You can choose to let obstacles defeat you, or you can choose to rise above them. You can choose to dwell on the past, or you can choose to focus on what you can do right now. The power is in your hands. The first step to taking control of your life is accepting full responsibility. That means no more blaming others, no more excuses, no more waiting for someone else to fix things. Your circumstances may not be your fault, but they are your responsibility. The moment you stop blaming and start acting, your life begins to change. You have to decide what you want. Most people drift through life without direction. They complain about where they are, but they have no clear vision of where they want to go. If you don't take control of your direction, life will control it for you. You'll be stuck reacting to whatever happens instead of creating the future you want. Take the time to define your goals. Be specific. Know what you want and then take deliberate action to move toward it every single day. Discipline is the key. Motivation comes and goes, but discipline is what keeps you consistent. It means showing up every day and doing the work, no matter what. You also have to control your mindset. The way you think determines the way you live. If you constantly tell yourself you're stuck, that life is unfair, that things will never change, you will never take action. But if you adopt a mindset of growth and possibility, you will start seeing opportunities where others see obstacles. You will start taking action instead of making excuses. Your mind is the most powerful tool you have. Train it to work for you, not against you. Another crucial part of taking control is managing your time. Time is the one resource you can never get back. Every moment wasted is a moment you'll never see again. Be intentional with your time, cut out distractions, stop spending hours on things that don't move you forward, prioritize what truly matters. The most successful people don't have more time than you, they just use their time differently. You also have to take control of your environment, the people you surround yourself with, the habits you develop, the information you consume. All of these things shape your life. If you spend time with negative people, you will develop a negative mindset. If you surround yourself with people who push you to be better, you will naturally level up. Choose your circle wisely. Create an environment that supports your growth.